Welcome everyone. Long time no see. Alright, today we are going to record our podcast in one of the awards winning bar. Where is it? We are in Collie Bar. Shout out to CK and Collie team. So much appreciate for your support, guys. I'm Jason Sun, the beverage innovator in Monan, Southeast Asia. As usual, if you have anything related to Monan, you may always look for me.
I'm Terry Burhan, editor and founder of Starter Tables. We are an independent food and drinks media covering the ins and outs of the industry to inspire the hospitality community and food lovers. So today, Jason, who are we speaking to?
And today, in the celebration of International Women's Day, we were speaking to three leading F&B female voices in different roles, sharing their journeys on what it means to be a woman in F&B industry. And today we have Angel Ng, one of the strongest bartender in town, and she's my co-founder of my bartender Handshake, and she also one of the partner at the Rex Bar. Next, we have Jenifer Kuah, a well-known F&B operator in Malaysia. Let me give you a list. Sitka Studio, a European tasting menu concept restaurant, Alta Cafe, Food Foundry, and more. You can see her shadow all over here. And we have a famous chef with us today. She is Chef Jun Wong, who previously led a popular progressive Japanese cuisine restaurant, the Kikubari Kitchen.
And today now, the ladies are having the Jameson Perfect Serve, a JGL, which is the Jameson Ginger and Lime. Okay. Right, so ladies.
Refreshing.
Right?
Good start.
Okay, that's a good start. All right, so ladies, every one of you has at least 10 years of experience, right? Take us back to where it first started, right? How it first started. What was it like to be a woman in your role? And how has the journey progressed for each and every one of you as a bartender, as a chef, and as an operator?
So, what happened 10 years? I mean, like, how it started?
Yeah, so take us back.
Yeah.
How it started.
I'm an extrovert with a lot of energy, and the bar does look fun, and I was a night owl, so it makes perfect sense. So it's all fun and games at the start. It was. Yeah, but then it got really philosophical later on.
But what does it mean to be a woman bartender now? How has it progressed over the 10 years?
In Malaysia, just going to Malaysia, right?
Malaysia.
The progress definitely has improved, but it wasn't fast enough. Like, we definitely do not think as a escort or a GLO now. If I'm in the bar, you know, like before that, like 10 years ago, you see a female in the bar, oh yeah, GLO, escort, you know what I mean? So now they do not assume I am. I think that is a unfortunately beautiful jump. I don't know what is good or bad. So now there's more opportunities. People are looking to explore having females in the bar, but I don't. It's not fast enough.
I think when I first started working in the kitchen, there was definitely significantly a lot less females in the kitchen. But it wasn't just about the quantity of females working in the industry. I think it was the having to prove yourself, because if you have a resume and all else being the same, two identical CVs between the male and female, the male would always get picked first because the male would be good until proven otherwise, but the female would be the other way.
It's like a wild card,
yeah,
right?
the female would be like, she is a question mark until she proves herself.
Yeah.
So that was it for, I think, for being a female in the industry. I think it still is, but the good thing is we're seeing a lot more females in the industry right now, and even in like leading positions, and also not just really junior positions. But back then, during my time, I think all the females who were chefs, they were just the highest they ever got was a sous chef. They would never be leading the kitchen, and so I had my experiences.
Thank you, Jenifer.
Yeah, so I had a previous career to this. I was a lawyer, so the call of food was very great for me. You know, I waitressed in university, was constantly searching for food. You know, but I think I envy actually the younger generation because I think that there were less even coming out of university, it was there were even less opportunities for women in F&B, you know, like nobody quite knew in my time, like, you know, what to do or, you know, what sort of role you could play in the industry. So I left law and then started Food Foundry, my first. And I was just completely just jump into the water, deep end, you know, don't know what I was doing. In Malaysia, 15 years ago, that was when I started, there wasn't even chefs, like proper chefs, you know, in the market. They were either in cooking because they had no choice, but it wasn't. Or yes, or someone from the hotel. So it was, 15 years ago was just dire. So I have seen a lot of improvement in the industry, of course, you know, especially in the last 5 years, which is nice, you know. And that is in general. It's not just women, you know. So in an industry that's young, you already have no chefs. So to look for a female entrepreneur, actually there were a few women food entrepreneurs that I knew, sold out, you know. It was helmed by Michelle Kuah. Actually, Madam Kwan was, the front of house was also helmed by a lady, you know, who of course was part of the family. So there were, it's not the industry, it's different then and now for food, you know. It was all about like local chains then, you know, like the Esquire Kitchen. So it's really nice to see a lot of independent restaurants.
But is it true though that the F&B space is largely male dominated? Just now our conversation, right?
100%.
Tell us more about it. Yeah.
100% is definitely male dominated. I think the reason why
Until now.
Like now.
Yeah. I mean, until now.
I have one female chef on my team out of 10. So that's really a very small number, and it's
it's that little.
Yeah.
Front of house and back of house, only one female cashier.
Oh, for front of house too, yes, for sure.
There's
Yeah.
one female cashier and I'm the other woman. Yeah, you know. So
Yeah.
it's still very male dominated. I think there's this idea that, and I still, it's true. You need to be able to cook up stuff. There's a lot of heavy lifting, you know, in the kitchen, front of house, and sometimes it's easy to get hands, you know. So it's just like, you know, one stone can do other stuff as well, rather than having people. So that, to add on the story, that I had to practice for weeks to carry a 22-liter beer keg.
Yeah.
Like every day, I practiced it when I first started out when I was 17.
Wow.
So I can prove to the guys I can do what they do, because they did U-turn, and when I asked for help the first week, they said, "You're a bartender, pick yourself up." So
It's a workout.
So that 2 weeks, you know, like 20-liter cake, just keep carrying.
Wow. Any of such stories in the kitchen, Chef?
I never felt like I needed help in the kitchen. Yeah, things were heavy, but I thought that where we lacked in strength, sometimes you can compensate with like brains as well. Like
Strategy.
I didn't really need to carry a 15-liter stock pot like from A to B. It could carry it halfway and then, you know, or maybe just like slide it across the table. Yeah. So I don't see myself weaker than any of them.
I admire you guys because you know, I mean, I think being in the kitchen is tough. You know, doing what you do is tough because it's constant movement, right? And sadly, I don't do what they do. You know, but I can, you know, I see it all the time. No, I mean, I think doing service is quite different from what you do. I mean, of course, there's a lot of movement, walking around and all that, but really full admiration for, like, you know, carrying stuff, you know, chopping, and that's like huge, you know.
I'm sure when you get to it, you'll be able to do it, because like when you said like during service, there's a adrenaline rush.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a heightened sensation of like that push, that drive to get it done.
Which we are all like, we all love, right?
Yeah, so high octane.
Not like good customers. When it's good customers at the end of the night, it's like great.
But I think that the industry every industry is male dominated, you know. I was in law, so I mean life in general, it's just the way it is. So I have to go back to a restaurant full of like guys, so I better, you know, watch what I say, because they will definitely tease me, especially Christian. But I think that you're right that we use our, you know, we have our strength, which we should play to, instead of trying to be like one of the guys. That I have never felt that I was at a disadvantage as a female in the industry. I think that it's you know, it's like layers of like culture and tradition and sort of the way people perceive the industry. That's why women may not necessarily fall into this. And the opportunities as well. So so we in F&B are fighting a lot of assumptions, you know, right? So that makes it hard for the younger women to participate in the industry too.
But I did experience like a discrimination where this is the difference between 10 years ago when I started and versus more recently when I started to assume a leadership role in the kitchen. I don't think it's a change in the industry, but I feel like it's a change in the dynamics in the female's position as she or they rise in the ranks. When you're in the junior position, I think you're zero threat. You don't threaten anyone. Then as you move up, then when I was holding the head chef position in Sydney, it was in a hotel, and the structure was that the restaurant manager reports to the chef, and the chef was the manager and the head department in F&B. So the restaurant manager was at that time 45, male, white Australian.
Wow.
And
I have an image.
And I was at that time 30 or just about reaching 30, female, Asian. And so I was 2/3 his age. And there was one time we had a massive blowout, and he said this to my face. I'm not allowed to like swear, right? So I'm gonna put it mildly. He was like, "You're a stupid Asian young." The C word. Who knows nothing about this industry. I was in this industry before you were born. And I was like, wow. Like, that's a really strong statement. Like,
he's so insecure about himself for you to say that.
Yeah, he was definitely fired because in Australia you say that it's a discrimination, and he was gone. But in my head it was like, well, that was like you just said everything you had against me.
That might take a while to process.
Well, I sorry.
Yeah, you were saying?
I do think that, you know, it's I think that's what women in any industry and have to sort of like fight against. So actually, a lot of our energy is not focused on the job, right? It's focused on okay, who is
we have to
yeah.
work harder, faster, and stronger. I believe I'm not twice as fast as any guys that work in the kitchen, just to show that I'm not this slow little princess, you know. That's what they like to think. You know, go cry in the kitchen or something like that. You know.
And then as well, along with that, we have to be okay if people call us bossy or cutthroat.
So how can mere colleague play as part to improve, such issue, and how can we further to support?
Jun?
Do you want to go?
Jason, you take the bait. You will take the bait.
Okay, I'm going to shoot back the question to you. How do you think that you could support better for the women in the male-dominated industry?
For my experience, so mainly we come to for muscle part, like carrying stuff, so for me definitely we will go and help, like if you need something to carry, and of course when it comes to tray, right, and then sometime, because for certain customer or guests, like they are mere, so when they have a bit of tipsy, they start to act a little bit different. So that's where I think we have a big responsibility to stand up to cover the situation.
Well done.
That's a very helpful thing. Like what Jason said was really helpful. Like that's really nice. Like if we had supportive male colleagues, even doesn't even have to be in a senior position. Like some of my staff in the kitchen, they'll protect me if anything. But although sometimes they're scared of me, but they will protect me when they have to.
So I think that my biggest problem with males in general, okay, not even just the industry, is that they use their physicality to intimidate, which a woman will not respond to. You get what I mean, right? So that's actually the biggest. They speak louder. Everything. It's bigger, louder, heavier. And all that. So I think that is already for me physically a form of intimidation that actually you can't get away from. So I do really agree with the message. I think the current generation of men, at least in my age group, I don't think that that's going to change very much. So I'm very realistic in my expectations. But I would say teach your sons. I think
101%.
I think that is for the future.
Definitely.
I can't change a lot of
No.
males that.
There's this thing going on with children is don't tell your daughter to protect her.
Yes.
Teach your son.
Yes. Yes, teach your son how to behave. Perhaps in 20 years' time, we could have like an entire generation of men who are, just more empathetic.
Yep.
One thing I want to add on in terms of how we contribute is to call people out. I think this is not an Asian thing. Like, you know something is wrong. You see something is wrong. Call it out. Even though you see the woman, especially a customer, that's where we have to always notice where the customer feel uncomfortable, how we behave and stuff. But if you're there, I usually teach my staff like call it out. When ask the girl first. But if the guy is really rude and really loud, call him out. Let's deal with it.
Great, Continue for that. What do you wish to tell your mere colleague?
I think for me, I can only address like upwards because I haven't encountered any problems with peers or anyone below. But upwards, I think bosses or future bosses have to just be fair when they look at opportunities. They need to provide equal opportunities for both females and males. And also, I will just say that females also earn about 15% less than males in every position.
Well, not at my company though. So
I mean, I think here is not so prevalent, but actually it is.
I actually tried to have this conversation with different then head female bartenders, and I tried to ask more. Their answers were no, they feel like they pay fair. Well, I felt it wasn't. It was slightly reduced. So I'm not sure whether it's because they don't ask the male counterparts how much they earn because they feel embarrassed for it, or they are happy with what they have.
that could possibly be the case, right?
Yeah.
Because this is also not free information that's freely shared.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
so
But then when I found out how much my male counterparts earn, I could also think that maybe because I didn't ask that much, because internally we felt like we don't need that much. Then that's the reason why they pay women lesser. So recently I feel like I need to ask her, I'm gonna ask the exact same amount and see what they say.
So I would like to say to my juniors, they're all my juniors now, would be to be aware, to constantly be aware that such a problem or such a situation exists for women, you know? Like just to just have it at the back of your mind that it's there. Don't assume it's not there, right? That's the scary thing, I think, that when people assume that it's been addressed, you know. But if you feel uncomfortable, you should always talk about it and be able to sort of discuss.
I also hope, I also hope that hiring managers or entrepreneurs for that matter don't look for a female figurehead just for the sake
No,
of
of course.
you know.
Ornamental.
Go for it.
Yes.
I don't know if this is off limits, but I
No,
feel
please, continue.
Well, you know where I was
Oh
heading,
my
so
goodness, the amount of guys that I know, just people texting me, Angel, I want a female bartender. I was like, what's wrong with me? When you need a female bartender, oh no, it looks good. I was like, when they serve you shit drinks, never mind, you can teach. I was like,
yeah, because if we're trying to fight for equality, we can't have our cake and eat it. We can't complain about having equal opportunity, but then at the same time, like, if the scales have been tipped and people start wanting to hire female chefs or bartenders because it's trendy to do so, then it's like, you know, we can't complain about things because that puts us at an
but
advantage.
isn't that sexualizing us as well?
It is. So I feel like we can't have our cake and eat it. So in a sense that if we want to earn respect ourselves, then it has to be fair playing ground, equal opportunity for both. And like when you ask a question earlier on, what were the disadvantages of us being in the industry, like manual labor and stuff? I don't complain. She didn't complain. So like we have to do the job and we have to take the heat and be able to carry out. You know, we can't complain that we can't expect someone to hold the door for us. So we want to earn the same. We have to do the same job as well.
Yeah, you just want to be recognized for your ability, isn't it?
Exactly.
Like you if we could
don't
scrub
need
it,
an advantage,
yeah.
but we just want it to be fair. That's it.
yeah.
Such a good conversation. But ladies, I think it's time for another round.
Yay.
Yeah, Angel. What's up? I mean, what's your
Okay,
drink
so
like?
we are serving Irish original Jameson whiskey, and all Irish whiskey are triple distilled, so it's really smooth. Okay, so what would you like? How would you like your Jameson?
I would like it on the rocks, please.
Alright.
For me, a whiskey highball.
Okay,
Nice.
so just we keep it clean and soda for flavor.
Is that what you recommend?
Yeah, I would recommend, because if you do like the highball with soda, right, you can really the pronounced notes of vanilla and the nuttiness and the finishing of spiciness is actually there. So you can taste the subtle finishing of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So on the rocks it's slightly sweeter, but it's afternoon, it's close to tea time, so let's deal with that.
Oh, that's my dessert.
Angel, what are you having, Angel?
I am having neat. Well, I'm having shots.
Shots.
Sipping shots.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright.
Yep. Yes.
I'm going to make a drink.
And we will continue.
Yeah.
Later. Yeah. Take a break. Yeah.
Alright. So, what do you guys think about the drink on your choice?
Yeah, do you want to go first?
Sure. Exactly what you said. Really fragrant with the vanilla on the nose. Actually, really delicious. Sweet, spicy. Yeah, very nice.
First
On
of
the
all,
rocks is good.
yeah, I'm gonna say like good job on the balance.
Yeah.
And I think it was really great because you said to have it just with soda without the lime or a lemon peel, because it's enough, the right amount of dilution to bring out that whiskey kind of like notes. Yeah. And it's really nice. It's not overly peaty or smoky or anything.
That's what it is. So it's perfect. Like, no, I'm not promoting day drinking, but it's perfect. During
But you are.
And to be honest, especially if you're at night and you're hanging out, like I'm gonna say like nature in the campfire. You don't want anything too drunk, you don't want anything too dry. This is actually quite nice.
Oh yes. So ladies, let's now talk about the work-life dynamics, right, between females. Competition versus collaboration. Which one is our industry leaning towards, and are there any challenges you would like to raise among working with fellow
women?
females? Women, yes.
Well, like we mentioned, there aren't enough females, within the same organization to actually feel that, at least in my organization, because I own and run the business, and I have a business partner who I mean, we share a lot of the same values. So no, I can't say that it's there's just not enough of us to, right? But I think in terms of maybe, after this, if we do collaborate on something, right?
I was thinking about it.
No, I think we would be very, very supportive, because we've been alone, and we feel that there are not many of us. So therefore, I think it's there's no competition. I would say.
It's good to like have one extra female for after hours suppers as well, because it's not just guys. But I mean, if you're talking, or if I think that's where you're headed, if there's any like cattiness or what amongst females, I don't think so, because some of my best kitchen staff have been females. Like, they were way sharper. They was really the sharp tools in the box, and they were fast. They worked hard.
Yeah.
They'll come earlier than the boys, and they're just workhorses. And I've been very proud of all the female colleagues that I've worked with.
That's amazing.
Okay, I agree. Especially now, there was a time at the very start of my career that I felt, and maybe it's just my paranoia, but it's just a response I've gotten, that there was a point of time between not many in the same company, different companies. I was excited to have. During then, there was quite a handful of females bartenders, but I felt like maybe there was a lot of comparison between the female bartender for the outside people's market, and due to them keep talking about the comparison in the individual female bartenders, there was an unnecessary spike of emotion of competition between each other. But now I feel like we all grown up and realize what is, that it wasn't nothing to do with us, and we could help each other way better at the very start, and this was 10 years ago. Now it's like I felt like we are more together. That was my thought on competition.
But I think that's there has to be a distinction between like healthy competition, because it makes you better at your job, and like I just don't
bitter and sour.
Yeah.
Like healthy competition is great, because competition makes us a better person, makes us a better chef, a better operator, a better bartender. But what I like to say, it shouldn't be bitter and like resentful.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing. Now that we're moving on to leadership and mentoring, I mean, you ladies are like throughout your journey, right, who has inspired you in your journey? Maybe any male or even female mentors, or if there's any male, and why?
I'll go first. Well, I grew up in a time when women's issues were huge. In my 20s and 30s, right? So I lived through a time of where it was happening in general, that women could do the same stuff as guys, and so I got fed, in that environment. I had a lot of not mentors, but women I could look up to. Like even a supermodel was like a mentor because they got out of bed and they strutted, like they commanded the designers and the scenes in the 90s. But I also had a lot of strong women role models, not from the industry, but in general, and my mom is one. She's my mom, she always told me that girls could do anything. Except she was a little bit upset when I went into F&B.
Everything but.
Yeah. But it wasn't so much I couldn't do it. It was
Okay when you do it.
yeah. But she's very proud now. So my mom was always like, I've got girls. I have a younger sister, so she always told me that I could do whatever I wanted to do. But preferably professional. But, yeah. But I had a lot of very strong. They're not famous, but they ran their own businesses. They hustled, and they're a good, maybe about 20 years older than me. So I've been very lucky in that journey of life, because I had always been with a lot of women who were strong and powerful and sort of like, just doing their shit. Yeah. So yeah.
I gotta give up to my for female role models is unfortunately not enough in the industry. So is my mom, but she and I are vastly different. But she's a dragon lady and she's stubborn as hell. And she's the only female on the the meeting, the table, the only female. So it's not far from what we are right now. So I have a lot of respect for what she does. Despite our differences, she taught me certain things that needs to be done. Yeah.
I mean, for me, I've never personally had any female mentors because it was so scarce in the industry. But like who I look up to was people like Dominic Quen. She's like, kick-ass.
Yeah.
Adopted, but like she was 100% self-made, worked hard, rose the ranks. She's like one of the top chefs, one of the only French restaurants, if I'm not mistaken, in New York to get a star. And she's kind of like crazy like that in a good way. And but in the sense like inspiring, yes, she is. But not that I really know her personally. Like so, like again, I hate to be cliche here, but I have to go back to my mom as well, because my mom is actually one hell of a kick-ass woman. So when she had my pregnancy, I think I was like 2 weeks premature, but I was like dying to come out, and but I wouldn't turn, and my dad wasn't around because my dad used to travel a lot, and the doctors was like, "Ma'am, do you want us to give your husband a call for you to sign like the I don't know, like a
Consent
for I don't know what the
cesarean?
consent was for."
Oh, okay.
I think it was a C-section, but and she was like, "It's okay, I will sign it on my own." And she's like, all this time on the labor bed, and she never let me forget about how I was a kid.
Don't do it, Angel. Don't do that. It's traumatic.
Every New Year she would bring that up, like she wouldn't
The
touch.
thing.
She was the hardest birth, refused until I signed the consent form. But she was like kick-ass, like I'll do it on my own while I'm in labor and stuff.
Well, it looks like we have that in common too.
Yeah. Okay. I as much as I would love to name all females out, because our
question. Right? As leaders yourself, right? What would you have told your younger self, or a female who's starting out as a chef, as a bartender, and potentially a restaurateur?
Oh, just be brave. Be brave, take that leap. If you feel that, if you're moved to do it, you should just do it. Don't let anybody tell you, like, don't listen to the naysayers. Just be brave,
Quote of the day right there.
Be brave.
I think number one, I'm gonna address because there's a huge mental health issue problem in the industry as well.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say that it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
one.
100%.
And I also have like plenty of younger aspiring chefs asking me, like, actually one of my boys who used to work with you. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you who it is later, but
I think I know.
he was like, chef, when do you know that you've actually chose the right career? And I said, I don't. I've been a chef for 15 years and every day I wake up thinking if this is the right career for me. And like every day I wake up thinking like today's the day I should change my job. But like I said, look, you are maybe like 20, 30-ish. It's okay to make a mistake. Like what is 2-3 years of your life, and even if you figure out that this is not the right job for you at 45, you're not gonna die. You're still gonna wake up tomorrow. Like the earth is not gonna sink. You're still okay. If you figure out it's the wrong job, it's the wrong job. That's the way it is. Just go with it. Yeah.
Allow yourself to make mistakes is what you're saying, right? Yeah. So be brave, make mistakes. What's yours, Angel?
I'm going to say that it's okay to be thick skinned. And it's okay if people are going to call you bossy and shit and stuff. You will feel insecure, you feel like whether you're doing it right is fine. Because those people who can't take your shit is not meant to be. And those people who can, you guys are going to do great things together. So,
Cheers.
yeah.
Right. So moving forward, we have talked about past, we talked about current. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit on the future side. Yeah.
Don't say 10 years, man. 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 10 years.
10 years, okay.
10 years, okay. So 10 years.
Okay. So okay, moving forward with all the issues that we have talked about, all the issues and challenges we talked about just now, and what can the industry do to improve, and how would you change if you could?
Change.
I think that because I run my own company, so it's the way I want it to be, and it's good. So I want it to go on with with the same philosophies that we have, and I would like to say nurture, but it's kind of hard too, because there's a lot of movement, and movement is necessary in the industry, right? Because you have to leave, you have to go learn something. It's very necessary, But I think that I would like to have, the company that I have would be that, springboard, to have all these conversations, and for me to tell the males in the company, when things are not okay, or a certain perception. I think education is probably education, conversation, just to continue with that, and to never stop working, actually. Never, because I love what I do. I will do this till I'm dead. I will, 'cause I love it. So it's, I hope I live to 150. Well, with Jameson, I might. Cheers. Yeah, the 150.
For me, I think I would wish for, this is not like a women specific thing, but I wish for more humanity in the industry, because we are not machines. Like I think we've worked our way to prove that we can work 16 hours a day. But it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. And I think this industry having like battled the last 2 years, and we've shown so much. Like it's the F&B sector that's providing food. It's us that are donating to people who don't have food. It's us that are being kind to the delivery drivers, and we just wish that people who receive that kindness would show us the same kindness as well. Yeah.
Definitely. I during the past 2 years, maybe I'm going off topic right here, but the past 2 years it's really rough for all of us. It's like the two
I'm
top,
exhausted,
the two top industry that was gone, like three, which is events, media, and F&B. And F&B should be essential because we're giving food. So that was rough. Okay, sorry. In 10 years time, in 10 years time, if the customer doesn't treat us like human, if all customer doesn't treat us like human, in 10 years time, I'll be so disappointed in this on earth, man. And I will be at tunnels right now to wipe out half of it, seriously, for that. But
I think it's up to us also to really not allow
to
not allow
them to
the customer to speak to us as if we are worth nothing, you know.
Because we are. It's been 10 years, and I thought 10 years ago I said the same answer, that customer would not take us as nothing. Because 10 years ago, and now 10 years now, I'm still saying the
Treat
same
us
thing.
like third class citizens.
So that we had a recent incident at Alta. Customer was sent the wrong order. Apologies made. New one was being prepared, and he sat in the outlet and commented on one of the photos, "Where is my big breakfast? Why are you taking so long?" Right? Okay. Then he
speak to a human.
Right, and then he sent us a private message saying, and he swore, he's like, "Where the F is my breakfast, you lazy effing morons."
Okay, so
yes, I screen capped it. I was furious. I won't share in this, with us, but you see, it's never going to go away. But we have to talk about it. And if I'm faced with it, I'll be like, "Get out of my restaurant." He's banned, by the way. I know who he is. He's banned from the restaurant.
I just want them to know. I know you're paying for services, especially those with 10% service charge, but that doesn't give you a right just because that you have a shitty day. Shitty day.
You pay your doctors and you don't tell them what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, exactly. So why are you paying us and then you want to be shit towards us to release your stress? Like,
we're not a punching bag, right?
I spoke about this multiple
it's ridiculous.
times. Like, we are okay if you have a hard day at work. We are okay having a conversation and serve you what you want. But so I always tell my staff this: all customers are right until they turn abuse you. Then it's out the door.
Yeah.
But that is. I hope in 10 years time at least people don't think us as what the world server. No disrespect to the world country.
But we have lots of fun, right?
Yeah.
So
If I could have a closing statement, this is going to be last time. If I could have a closing statement, I felt like we fight.
Is that an overture to us?
We've just touched the surface, but we could go on.
We could go on. Whatever we talked today was the surface. We could definitely go on. We haven't even touched base on being in the F&B and especially nightlife and having a family.
Oh.
That is a whole different ballgame.
Or having a personal life.
Especially it's a different expectation for females than males. So ladies, one gentleman,
Please.
thank you for today.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers.
So it has come to end. Yeah, we would like to take this opportunity to thanks everyone that helping us.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
we want to
but
thanks
Jameson Whiskey.
Jameson Whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We want to thank you, the
thanks-
three amazing ladies just now who gave such a lot of insights,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
who share a lot of insight for me.
Yeah, yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you again, Angel, Jenifer, and Jun.
Jun.
And last but not least, thank you, Coley,
Yes.
for providing this space.
Such a
and
very nice venue. Yeah.
And thank you so much for our
our
videographer
crew.
and our crew
Yeah.
working so hard behind the scene. And
Thank
thank you
you.
everyone for
Right.
listening and watching this episode. We
Thank
hope you
you.
enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.